Welcome to Indiquity. We publish videos that share information and knowledge to make the common Indian investor well-versed with the ways in which Indian equity markets are structured and function. We're starting an exciting video series that explains Indian industry structure, the way Indian companies are classified in different sectors, industries, and basic industries. The aim of this series is to understand this structure correctly so as to search and compare companies to be able to take informed investment decisions. Let's begin. Welcome to the second part of our video on Indian industry structure. We have seen 6 macro sectors: commodities, consumer discretionary, energy, FMCG, financial services, and healthcare. Let's now move on to know more about remaining 6 macro sectors.
The industrials macro sector reflects India's investment and infrastructure cycle. Gross capital formation contributes close to 30% of GDP, and industrial exports exceed $100 billion annually. Many subsegments still depend on imported technology, while policy initiatives increasingly focus on domestic manufacturing and defense indigenization. This macro sector is tightly linked to government capital expenditure, private investment cycles, and long-term growth plans. Industrials is split into 2 main sectors: construction and capital goods. The construction sector contains a construction industry, specifically the civil construction basic industry, which builds infrastructure like roads and dams. The capital goods sector is more diverse and includes the aerospace and defense industry and the agricultural, commercial, and construction vehicles industry. It also features the electrical equipment industry for power components like turbines, the industrial manufacturing industry for shipbuilding and railway wagons, and a broad industrial products industry covering items like cables, packaging, plastic pipes, and steel products.
The information technology macro sector is one of India's most globally competitive segments. IT and IT-enabled services contribute around 7 to 8% of GDP and account for more than $150 billion in annual exports, making it one of the country's largest sources of foreign exchange. The sector benefits from global digitization trends and remains relatively asset-light compared to traditional manufacturing. Information technology consists of one information technology sector, divided into 3 industries. The IT software industry includes basic industries for software development, consulting, and software products. The IT services industry focuses on IT-enabled services for business automation. The IT hardware industry covers the manufacturers of computer hardware and networking equipment.
The services macro sector supports trade, logistics, administration, and mobility across the economy. Services account for over 50% of India's GDP and are central to employment generation in urban areas. Transport, logistics, and commercial services ensure economic connectivity and efficiency across regions. Services is managed through a single services sector categorized into 5 industries. The transport services industry covers airlines, logistics, railways, road transport, and shipping. The transport infrastructure industry manages airports, ports, and road assets like toll bridges. The commercial services and supplies industry includes consulting, data processing, and business process outsourcing. The engineering services industry includes dredging activities. Finally, the public services industry covers urban local bodies and development authorities.
Telecommunication underpins India's digital and data economy. India is one of the world's largest telecom markets by subscriber base, with data consumption among the highest globally. The sector requires sustained capital investment in spectrum and infrastructure, while revenues are closely linked to technology upgrades and regulatory policy. Telecommunication is organized into one telecommunication sector, divided into 2 industries. The telecom services industry includes basic industries for cellular and fixed-line services, as well as telecom infrastructure and broadband. The telecom, equipment and accessories industry focuses on the manufacturers of hardware like telecom cables and instruments.
The utilities macro sector provides essential public services required for economic stability and daily life. Electricity consumption, water supply, and waste management scale directly with economic growth and urbanization. Utilities businesses are typically regulated, capital-intensive, and long-duration in nature. Utilities macro sector is divided into two sectors, power and utilities. The power sector contains the power industry, which is broken down into basic industries for power generation, transmission, distribution, and trading. The utilities sector focuses on the other utilities industry, covering water supply, waste management, and emergency services like the fire brigade.
The diversified macro sector exists to classify conglomerates with multiple independent revenue engines. These companies cannot be meaningfully grouped under a single economic theme, and this classification ensures analytical clarity rather than forcing an artificial sector identity. Because of its nature, this macro sector has a very simple structure. It contains one diversified sector, one diversified industry, and one diversified basic industry. This is strictly reserved for companies where at least two of their business segments each contribute 20% or more to their total revenue.
How to use this framework? Whenever you analyze a stock or a sector, always anchor your thinking in this sequence. Macro sector, then industry, and finally basic industry. This structure brings discipline to analysis, prevents category errors, and allows you to separate cyclical movements from structural trends. Whether you are studying earnings, valuation, policy impact, or long-term opportunity, this framework ensures that your analysis rests on a solid foundation. In markets, clarity of structure is not optional. It is a starting point.
This brings us to the end of the second part of this introductory video on Indian industrial structure. In coming days, we will be releasing more videos that focus on specific sector and industries or basic industries under it. So stay tuned for more. And if you have liked our content, please like, share and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.